But AEW releases Malachi Black, Ricky Starks, Miro, reportedly all gone from AEW, getting their releases, all free men, as we saw with Ricky Starks showing up on Tuesday night's NXT. We've talked about these guys before and them probably being on their way out, but for whatever reason, Tony Khan woke up on Tuesday and said, hey, or Monday rather, and said, hey, I'm going to let these guys go. Ray Phoenix was not among them. Reportedly, they considered it. He was not, for whatever reason. He's still stuck in Guantanamo Bay or whatever people fucking call it, but at least they let go of these three, and Ricky Starks immediately capitalized and showed up in NXT. So, we don't have to go through these individually, but I want to get your thoughts, Mr. Marceau, as well as the fact that Starks is now WWE bound.
Yeah, I was stunned when I saw it, that they finally were released, which was nice to see. Poor Phoenix. What did he do? Let the guy go, for Christ's sakes. But yeah, I was pretty surprised when I saw this. I think Starks, if I had to rank them in order, I'd probably say Black, Starks, then Miro. I think Malachi or Alice or whatever you want to call him, he probably has the most potential. I feel like if he went back to WWE, to kind of be like a mid to upper tier. I like Ricky Starks. I just have like a fear, even though it's not Vince. I just feel like his size kind of, like, it's not that he's not a small guy in the sense, but like, I don't know, like he's not like, it's not like WWE's the land of the giants right now, but I would say most of the people are bigger, so that does scare me a little bit. And with Miro, I'd be fine if he didn't come back, but I could see them also bringing him back as well. But Starks on NXT, I thought that was a great little moment. The way that they did it, like he kind of just like popped out of the crowd after that segment they had with the Trick and the ring announcer. So it's nice to see him in NXT. I think it's a good start, get him kind of used to what's going on. I think the NXT, the men's division really needs someone like him, like another star. They're kind of depleted right now with like big time stars in NXT. So putting in NXT, I think, makes sense. But with like Black, I'd bring him right to the main roster.
Well, as Alexis brought up in the chat, that was my next question for you, Mr. Marceau. Are you scared they might change his name? He never once called himself Ricky Starks. They never referred to him as Ricky Starks. Even on the website, they didn't call him that. But I feel like it might just be a legal thing where it came together so quickly that they didn't even have time to kind of legally go through like, all right, am I going to keep my name or am I not going to have my name? I'm hoping that's what this is and they don't fucking change the name. If Ethan Page could be Ethan Page, I don't see why Ricky Starks can be any or should be any different.
Yeah, I would just keep his name.
His name is it's established, so why not? But I agree with you on the size thing. I don't really think he might. I don't think he was going to go to the main roster right away and become a world champion. So I'm kind of worried for his future on the main roster. Eventually, hopefully, Triple H, sees through that and pushes him regardless because of his talent. But kind of going off that, I feel like you kind of implied it there. Going to NXT first was probably the right call for a guy like Ricky Starks, right? I know the report was, oh yeah, the creative in NXT is fluid right now, so we can't introduce him whereas in the main roster it's kind of locked in going into WrestleMania, which may not be entirely accurate, by the way. They're constantly changing the card. People get hurt. It could happen. But I feel like Ricky Starks, since he wasn't previously in WWE and he's not like a Kenny Omega, I feel like going to NXT first makes the most sense.
Yeah, they just, like I said, I think they just need him.
Yeah.
Besides like Trick, like I said, Ethan Page, Tony D'Angelo, like Sean Spears, like they don't really have a ton of like over guys to begin with right now. Like I feel like they kind of got depleted. So I think putting him on NXT is good, just to give him like another name, to kind of just put in the main event scene. And I think to kind of get used to it. Like he's not an ex-WWE guy, so like obviously some people might know of him, but like not like Black. Like people kind of know who he is already. He was in WWE prior, so. I would put him in NXT first. I think they kind of need him right now. Get him flourishing a little bit, get him used to it a little bit, and then when the time's right, call him up. But like I said, I would call Black up right away.
Dylan brought up in the chat, and I'll go back to the chat in a moment after we let go of Mr. Marceau, but he had brought up that WWE just trademarked a whole bunch of names, and it does make me worried that WWE might give him one of these names. Last thing for you here, Mr. Marceau. Of these names, I need to know what you think might they give to Ricky Starks. Harley Riggins, Aria Bennett, Braxton Cole, Mason Holiday, Summer Sorrell, Hayes, Mays, Jameson, Tate Wilder, Dax, Jax, Presley. The document gets cut off, so it's kind of hard to say. Osiris Griffin. I feel like I'm watching that fucking bit from Key and Peele, where they just go through the football names. I feel like that's what this is. Draco Knox, Trill London, and Chantel Monroe. I'm very worried Ricky Starks might end up with one of those names.
The one that was Wilder, I could say it. I think it was like Tate Wilder. What was it?
Yeah, I think it's Tate Wilder. Like I said, it's cut off.
That's new
Tate,
Ricky
yeah.
Starks. Sounds good. Tate Wilder.
Jordan Gray said she'll take Trill London. So, I mean, there you go. That's her new name.
There you go.